Natalie, are you going to introduce us? We tried this last time in the lost episode.
That was an accident, so we're
perfect.
off to a good start. Yeah, we did try this. We did a test run of, me having control of the soundboard. Evidently, Doug just didn't want to give me full control, right off the bat.
Yeah,
he just pretended that we were recording and just, kind of built up my self-confidence.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did it all on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which can be, hard to do because people are just constantly calling me, and I mean, both of us, usually, what they say is that we're...
headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
I don't understand what that has to do with
my self-confidence.
Yeah.
People call me that.
And it lowers or raises your self-confidence?
Well, it's
because they really, if anything, they're putting in effort. They're really putting in the effort to call you
describe
things.
me.
Yeah,
I guess
they got to know you.
I know. Yeah, I mean, the sexually preoccupied for sure. They really cut to the heart of
and
who
thieving.
I am. Yeah, evil.
You're very much an evil thieving person.
Yeah, but I don't cross-dress.
I'm Natalie, the evil thiever.
Evil thiever.
All the ways in which I dress are parallel. No perpendicular dressing.
Yeah.
Since Natalie got most of it, this is Inane Blather.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Who are we? I don't listen to this show.
Matter.
Yeah. I don't know how it goes.
If you clicked on it, you know the name of it. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
And we're here in person together, so that's nice.
Again, but we're recording this time.
Yeah. All of them are recording. Thanks for reminding me to look. Let's take another look at here. You can hear the clickety-clack. Okay.
Yes.
But, it's working.
Well, great, because this is...
Headstrong. Good. Yes, exactly. We're nailing it.
Yeah.
But, we're here in person. Here in Washington. In my house at...
Washington. Yeah.
Washington 99 dude. That's we have a soundboard, but we don't have a little beep button. It'd be really fun to have. Listening to Come Town and how much fun Nick Mullen has with using a beep.
Yeah.
Like you'd have it almost like as an effects pedal between your microphone and the rest, or between like the entire mixer and the computer, so you could press it because it would cut everything else out. And beat at the same time instead of adding them in or trying to
do it later,
or do it like only 90s kids will know, when you're talking to your friend on the phone, you're like, oh yeah, well you're up. Like it's not even close to the same button, but on your touchtone phone. Yeah. Oh yeah, you son of a bop.
That's funny.
And you have to kind of
sounds like you're pretty into this, buddy.
I'm just happy you're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then calm down. Doug, calm down.
Sit down. I'm sitting down.
Oh.
We're at my house.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just because I'm making you stand up while we record doesn't mean I'm going to stand up. I'm like, sorry, I only have one chair.
And I'm using it.
You're like, well, there's a couch and 3 other chairs in here.
Those are not chairs.
There's a drum seat as well. A drum throne.
A drum
I think they're
throne.
called a throne.
Don't quote me on that, though.
Nice. So you're loving it. You really got way more used to it on the Lost episode.
Yeah.
Especially when I called you out about how difficult it is to sometimes you have to work it in.
Oh, those are not in here. The one that I was using a lot was I Love Karl Marx.
Yeah, just click back. Click tap back and go to the very bottom one.
New board? Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
And that should work. Dead air.
I love Karl Marx.
I think dead air is on there too. So, we have 0 to talk about because we just spent the day together. Natalie showed up at my house this morning like, oh, the cops are after me, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, we're going to do yard work then, And so we did some yard work.
Some.
Sounds like you're pretty into this,
Yeah, I'm trying to
buddy.
get back to where I was before.
Yep, just go back.
Which one is it?
Just make sure
This
that thing,
one.
the internet's not turned on. Is there a connection in the top right?
No.
Okay, good. That's why that one episode I kept getting advertisements because I was switching soundboards and it kept giving me ads. Anyway, no, we have lots that we can talk about. We had stuff that we talked about last week when we did it in person at Natalie's house. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad it raised her self-confidence. I thought it was pretty shitty.
She did most of the talking, so I was like,
Yeah,
boring.
It was bad. No,
yeah,
no, it
I
was
know you
not.
kept being like,
I was like, that's the only soundboard button you get to use from now on. No, I have, let's see. Oh, well, to date the episode, you gotta go through me. To date this episode,
Are you the episode's daddy?
What's funny, yeah. It is Easter, and I forgot, so I wrote, it's over the weekend, you go hunting for Easter eggs and stuff like that. There were a couple of ones that, they'll get away from you unless you have your AR-15. But
you're like,
perfect. I was watching you look through the soundboard for it. They're not all labeled well, but that one you got right to it because it starts with gun.
well, I have
just like all the good things in this world.
I don't have, I definitely do not have a photographic memory, but I can remember, like, books that I've read and stuff. I can remember usually if there was something that stood out to me, like where on a page, I would be able to go back and find
that's
it.
handy.
Yeah.
I actually, now that you bring that up, I have a problem with that. I'll be like, I just saw that, man, going through school, and then especially if I was just kind of winging it through some stupid class with a textbook that I didn't like economics. It was like, I'd be like, I just saw that, and then I realized I'm just pouring backwards all the way through the chapter, being like, I just read this,
I
and
know.
I feel like it's right here,
You're all
and
like,
it's not.
come on!
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I hate this class. No, so anyway, it's Easter, and because I had written, what I like most about Easter is saying egg hunt kind of quickly and slurring the two words together constantly. Egg hunt.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're going to see going to the egg hunt.
You say that to children, Doug? That's funny to you?
Yeah, because they don't understand the joke.
That Doug guy? Wow, what a piece of shit.
It's best when you play the drops and then you laugh and I don't. It's not going to not happen. You're just smoking. You're literally smoking memory loss.
Smoking weed, and you know what I'm thinking while I'm doing it?
Yep.
Drugs
I do.
are fun.
Next time you're over, I'm just going to have all the soundboard drops on the keyboard so they're unlabeled and you just press random keys.
And we make a song like we did at my house when we were jamming. Like,
Okay, so egg hunt. Life-changing. Listening to hard bop first thing in the morning. Yeah, that's been a real big change for me.
Hard bop?
How are your mornings going? Yeah, I've been listening to like Cannonball Adderley and Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Thelonious Monk, stuff like that. First thing in the morning. I mean, it's just
Not
music.
good.
It's music that I like anyway, so
Yeah.
whatever. But just that style, I like lots of different kinds of music, and it's just driving, good, interesting music, no lyrics, just go, go, go.
Instrumental.
First thing in the morning. Yeah, that's what I meant by no lyrics.
yeah, I just thought I'd make you sound smarter. You reminded me, you're saying...
By comparison,
listing
maybe.
these people, Thelonious Monk, Cannonball Adderley. It's
yes.
reminding me of that. I think you should
Roy
leave.
Donk. Yes.
Paul Bufano. Yeah, but also you were saying like R.M. Brown has eclectic taste in music and like well-rounded, and you're all like Thelonious Monk, Cannonball Adderley. Like,
Oh, yeah. I
that's
guess
pretty-
not everyone knows
yeah.
these people. I'm like, he's one of the greatest jazz alto saxophonists ever.
yeah, in what year?
Yeah. He was huge in 1959. Hey, he recorded. Hey, he played alto sax on Milestones with Miles Davis. All right, okay.
Imagine the
Okay.
impact Miles Davis could have had if he played the electric guitar.
Yeah, something cool. So let's see. Yeah, what do you do in the mornings?
Well,
Do you wake up in the mornings?
yes, I have, as of late.
You don't wake up in the
I
afternoon.
have definitely slept in later, though. I usually wake up like
Yeah.
9:30 or get out of bed instead of like before 8. I get up, I have coffee, I play with my cat for a little while. That's the time I spend
Ew.
with Marcel. That's what I named my vagina. Yeah.
That's my
No,
morning
yeah.
routine.
My cat
a little
Marcel
self
is-
ASMR.
yeah, he's very playful.
Yeah.
And
My kitty
Very-
is a he.
he's very
and he's
needy,
playful,
yeah.
and he's needy.
but he's soft.
Deep
Yeah.
and innuendo.
Can really make him purr.
Ew.
You
Now
started
it's too
it.
far.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then yeah.
Oh, now you gotta
It's
find
very
it.
cringe when you do that.
Okay.
And I take a shower. I
You've
get
been
ready.
liking your morning routines?
Yeah, I could add in working out though. I could get up like I don't work until 12 or 1, and then but then I
Yeah.
get off. I don't get home usually till after 9 o'clock at night. So
Yeah, exactly.
So my mornings are, I don't know, it's different. I have more time in the mornings than people who work like at 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously, because I don't.
Or 8:45.
But a lot of people that I work with sleep in
Or
a lot
people that
later
like have
than I
children that go to
Yeah.
school. Hello.
do.
Gross. You know how those
I have a
things are
cat.
made?
Sometimes he gets up on my bed at 6 o'clock and I just roll over and go back to sleep.
Sometimes my
It's
dogs
just
wake
like
me
having
up.
a kid.
Yeah. Don't you have to clean kids' shit out of sandboxes too?
Kelsey and I were saying we're
You're like,
like,
oh, they're toilet trained? Easy.
yeah, that's. Kelsey and I are like, we're not like other girls. Like, we shit in the litter box and our cats go in the toilet. Like,
Pick me. That's
Yeah, like-
pick me behavior.
yeah, exactly. Our vacuum cleaner blows instead of sucks. Like stupid stuff.
It's just,
like that. Like, why?
I just use a leaf blower inside the house. We're not like other girls. We drive in reverse all the way to work. We wear our windbreakers backwards, so they're really hard to take on and off, and we need to ask for help. We're not like other girls.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just putting off politics for
Oh yeah, what were we talking about?
12
I don't know.
minutes.
I just keep
Let's
looking
see.
down at the soundboard.
yes, just
And I'm pretty
waiting.
high.
That's why I'm usually not either I'm talking over you or I'm not listening to you at all.
What?
What? Oh, sorry, I just couldn't hear. You're like, we're doing a podcast.
I wasn't
There's
listening.
only two
Yeah.
of us. No, and just I usually, God, this list.
I know.
But I usually just kind of skip around. But just doing them in order right now has been working out. Because then this is politics. No. It's under Hassan. This is politics.
It's not on this one.
What?
Oh, it is. It's Hassan
This is politics.
politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, a little late to the draw there.
Okay, Natalie.
But so, of course, we got to talk a lot more about Trump being arrested, but we didn't talk about it that much. But I feel like, it'll kind of be a story for a while. So it doesn't really.
Yeah.
And plus, he's
Yeah.
already out on bail, and he doesn't have to show up to court for a while. But peripherally, like the politics angle, not the law and order angle or whatever,
okay.
whether he did it or
Talking
deserved
politics,
it.
huh?
Who fucking
All right.
cares if he actually deserved it? Tons of rich people deserve to be thrown in jail over and over again, and of course politics influences the fact that he got arrested, because politics is why everyone knows that he did this stuff. But anyway.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about last week. I was just talking to Dad about that today too. We're talking about campaign finance laws. I was like, so what is the point of
Yeah.
having these laws? They're like, why don't we just not have them because we don't follow them? When you break them, no one fucking cares about it at all. They care about
Yeah.
the politics surrounding it, and not like campaign
Nixon?
finance violation is like they just nobody ever gets in trouble for it.
Yeah.
At all.
Unless you're so fucking stupid, and your name is Dinesh D'Souza,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
go to prison for a year for
forgot.
campaign finance violations. It's like, yeah, and he's probably one of the smartest conservatives. No. He's up there with Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani. Yeah, gosh, listening to Nixon Land, as I
Am want to do.
often do. Yeah, this book, this so-called book, if
If
it
it
so
can-
can be called.
Dang it! If it can so be called.
It's too long to be a book.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's too long to be a book. I've never read a 6-inch book before. They had just passed a bunch of campaign finance stuff and limits prior to the 1972 election, and it is insane what Nixon still did. His entire team, I mean, some of the stuff that wasn't just straight fraudulent and all that was like diabolical and just awesome. It's funny how awesome the politics was. He rat fucked the entire Democratic Party in so many different creative ways. It's really funny. Karl Rove was on his
That's
team.
hilarious.
No, but it's crazy how they did it.
If it was
It's
a
really
movie, it would
interesting.
be great,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm just listening to it as a book, and
Yeah,
it happened 50
exactly.
years ago, so whatever. No, but
Yeah. So
but even on top of that, straight up illegal stuff, literally funneling money that end up in suitcases full of cash being handed to people. That's how they did stuff. It's like, there's no way
politics.
that's legal. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's politics.
hey,
But
vote with your dollar there. Hey,
yeah,
remember
well,
my
you had
favorite saying.
had a bunch of dollars that were funneled through like the this dairy association thing that ended up in these separate accounts that they could then recollect, and it's all siphoned back into his campaign and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's all sorts of unaccounted for stuff. But anyway, so wouldn't the constant response for all these people that are mad about the Trump indictment, which are a lot of people, even people that are for it, that still say, well, yeah, it's politically motivated, which I don't think matters, but wouldn't the constant response of all these people are like, this indictment's the best thing that could happen to Trump, or, you know, the Democrats just handed Trump the election. All these people, I think they're just coping, but sincerely believe that it's a huge win for Trump being arrested by his rivals because it looks so political. It makes the Democrats look bad. Mm-hmm. But doesn't that kind of fly in the face of the idea that it's totally a politically motivated arrest? Like, obviously, this won't lose him votes.
Yeah.
You know, they're talking about gaining it. So what gives? Big brain logic boy 5-head take LOL LMAO bruh is what I wrote, but I don't know what I was doing. But LOL. Yeah.
LOL.
But yeah, so okay. Yeah, so it's like
So
it's
if
the best thing that could happen for him, and it's like, no, but it was politically motivated because it was political. So the Democrats
Why would they do
were
that?
politically motivated to do the best thing for Trump? Which one do you really think it is here? Because I don't think it's both. I mean, the Democrats are pretty stupid, so they might just want to do something that would help Trump. But I don't think they're trying to help Trump. Like, unless you believe the Democrats are literally trying to help Trump win the election, then it's not politically motivated. Because if it was politics, they're not going to do what helps him win. Right?
Right. But
Yeah.
those kind of people are just like,
Everyone is stupid except me.
But also me.
man, yeah, that's a big brain sort of thought process
Yeah.
there. Like, so what's the political motivation again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're politicians,
To
you mean?
keep him
Or,
from
like,
running? So you don't think that's a good thing for him politically? No. Okay.
okay, so you do think it is.
Wait.
And that's why they did it, because it would be good for him.
Because the Democrats they like Trump. Dead air.
I know.
No, that one should be in alphabetical order. There's 60 sounds on that one. So
Yeah.
So, also, I wrote, Albert Einstein was a socialist. Do you think you're smarter than Albert Einstein? Winning argument every time. You have someone against I just remember that old bit from some comedian after his divorce or whatever. He's like, Albert Einstein got divorced. You know, it's like all these
You're
people
smarter.
who got married, it's like they're asking about their wedding vows. It really should just be the priest asking him, like, do you really think you're smarter than Albert Einstein? No, but Einstein was a socialist. What does that tell you about Albert Einstein
Well,
or socialism?
what it tells me
it says nothing,
is
but
that
Socialism is when no car.
Albert Einstein and socialism. Oh, yeah. Why Socialism? A book by Albert Einstein. That's
Who?
right. Albert
cares.
can actually do that
I was
in person.
listening, yeah.
Let's see. The article was published in 1949. Did Albert Einstein believe in socialism?
That's a great question.
Let's go to Doug. Doug is the guy you go to around here.
So, Doug?
Well, Albert Einstein was predominantly known during his lifetime for his development of the theory of relativity. But his political views were of public interest throughout the middle of the 20th century. This is more comfortable. He was a peace activist, a firm advocate of global federalism and world law. This dude literally wanted, like, a one world government.
That sounds like
new world
Futurama.
order. Oh, true. Yeah. It also sounds like exactly what all the InfoWars people are constantly scared of, you know?
Sounds awesome.
One world government. So, of course, he was an Ashkenazi Jew. He was staunchly opposed to the
course he was an
Nazis.
Ashkenazi Jew.
So he relocated
Imagine
to
if
the
you say
United
it like
States.
that.
Yeah, of course. Or also, like, actually, he wasn't even Jewish, and his name's Albert Einstein.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, he's 100% Scottish. But relocated to the United States. He frequently objected to the mistreatment of African Americans throughout the country and also worked with various civil rights organizations. He was
I thought he was smart.
A prominent supporter of labor Zionism for Israel and advocated Arab-Jewish cooperation after the outbreak of the conflict. So let's see. Cold War politics, socialism. He was one of...
Seems pretty satanic.
That's socialism for you. He was one of the founding members of the German Democratic Party. However, later in his life, he was in favor of socialism and in opposition to capitalism.
Nice.
Here, let's just read this before we move on.
All right.
So, from Why Socialism, here's a little excerpt. And yes, this is a crazy source. These are first-hand sources. People don't try to look it up and go on Wikipedia and read what I'm reading right now. No, but...
I did some guerrilla journalism to get
yes,
this information.
Guerrilla and gonzo journalism.
Garanzo.
Gorillanzo. I'm convinced that there is only one way to eliminate these grave evils, namely through the establishment of a socialist economy, accompanied by an educational system which would be oriented towards social goals.
There we go.
In such an economy, the means of production are owned by society itself and are utilized in a planned fashion. Shut up, dumbass! A planned economy which adjusts productions to the needs of the community would distribute the work to be done among all those able to work and would guarantee a livelihood to every man, woman, and child. The education of the individual. See, and that's like, I like how it's just very basic Marxist stuff, but that's also like undergirded with this idea that that education is really key to this.
Yes.
And aiming education, making sure that everyone's indoctrinated to love socialism and the state is very important.
Why won't we cure racism? Why Soviet-style re-education camps are actually patriotic.
Yes, and woke.
Yeah.
They're woke-riotic. But yeah, let's see. The education of the individual, in addition to promoting his own innate abilities, see, and even a good goal for education instead of the capitalist goal of just getting an education so you can get a fucking
good job.
So you
Seems
can
like a real
you know
cash
more,
grab.
you might make more money. Oh yeah, I'm watching. No, but the education of the individual, in addition to promoting his own innate abilities, would attempt to develop in him a sense of responsibility for his fellow men in place of the glorification of power and success in our present society. It's true.
What a dummy.
Yeah. And it's like, and some of these, and people, of course, I say it kind of jokingly in the whole like, well, what about like, you think this guy's really smart? Well, he was a socialist and he thought of it because of these
What is that
particular
psychological
reasons.
fallacy?
But that, actually, we discussed it a whole bunch on last week that got lost about, just following people instead of ideas and your own values and coming to logical conclusions, and how much that can muddy everything and how it happens. And it's important because there's only so much time in the day to learn all this bullshit, you know? Exactly.
Yeah.
If only everyone could have seen your stupid face right then. Anyway, okay, Tucker.
Carlson face again.
But,
that was in the last episode too.
Yeah, I took a picture. But
What is going on here?
I used to enjoy sex.
This is
Now,
propaganda.
The Democrats make me hate it.
Yeah. I can't even think about
Unless it's with a man.
the green M&M.
I cannot, as the young kids say, it's called busting a nut. And now I'm not capable of doing it without thinking of the green M&M in high heels.
is what I'm thinking.
What is going on? No, but anyway, but still at the same time,
But there are
a little
people
off
that you
track
can.
there.
I mean,
Because here, no, yeah. So Albert Einstein,
Yeah.
it's like, but it's still funny because he's also an example of like he kind of developed his views on it too, and it isn't like totally problematic or anything because like his opinions on the Bolsheviks changed with time. He criticized them for not having a well-regulated system of government, called their rule a regime of terror and tragedy in human history, and later adopted a more balanced view, criticizing their methods but praising their goals, demonstrated by his 1929 remark on John Lennon, or Don Lemon. I honor Lenin as a man who completely sacrificed himself and devoted all his energy to the realization of social justice. I do not consider his methods practical, but one thing is certain. Men of his type are the guardians and restorers of the conscience of humanity. So, Rowe translates the beginning of the second sentence as, so it must be someone, this is from, because he, didn't speak English, I guess, Einstein? No. Wasn't he, made in a lab by and he had, bolts on his neck? No, but it said... translated the sentence as, I do not find his methods advisable. So, yeah. So, and also talks about socialism, although how it is possible, even though you're doing a centrally planned, economy and government, but you need to prevent bureaucracy from becoming all-powerful and overweening, which I didn't know was a word. Mm-hmm. Over Weening.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Must
that's
be
right.
German.
There must be some German physicist. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of a joke, but it's like, well, okay, so if you're so opposed to it, and I mean, which I can understand. if an American hears socialism and is like, no, that's terrible. Look at what happens in China. Look at what happened in the USSR. Blah, 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 blah. And I don't want everyone to take all my money so lazy people can do stuff. Whatever your views are, it's like, it's very
Misinformed.
understandable.
Yeah.
But it's like just some very basic stuff, reading through something like that. It's like, okay, so if you feel very strongly about that view, though, like, for one thing, ask yourself why. And also, do you think you would argue with Albert Einstein about it?
Yeah, bro.
Like, would you change his mind?
Yeah.
Because I bet he could change yours. If you could go back in time and talk to Albert fucking Einstein, knowing what you know now. Like, come on.
And I was just thinking about
And you know the so-called smart people that are big capitalists, like Elon Musk?
That's what I was just gonna say. Like,
I knew it!
These dorks over here that think they're so like logical and like all this kind of like whatever this man stuff, you know, goes on in their heads, or they think is like, you know, like, wow, we're logical and we're all like science and crap and like whatever, trying to
and that's why patriarchy is good.
Or doesn't exist or
and
whatever.
we can say the N-word in Tesla
and that's
factories.
Why, black people commit more crimes because of look at statistics.
Exactly. 13%. Well,
All right,
you think you're smart because you know a percentage that you read on Twitter.
I get it. Yeah. But it's like, wouldn't like appeals to authority and arguments and stuff. I think that they have a place because it is like someone is someone because they're someone. Like they've thought about things, like they're a figure in like a culture for a reason, you know. And so I like Albert Einstein, for those, like I'm saying, those dorks and stuff, seems like a good example of like, well, one of these people that you would probably point to in other things as like a like someone who uses logic and science, like it's like a iconically known as a smart person.
Elon
who would
Musk
be
is just such a good example of this.
He's so smart. I forgot I was gonna talk like this. The whole Elon Musk is my father.
Is my lover. And also my dog sitter. But yeah, welcome back to Inane Blather, the Vocal Fry podcast.
That is so funny.
We saw how much money Red Scare made, and we're like, yeah.
That's like...
We're going to smoke cigarettes on the show like they do. No, but you look at people like, I mean, or the person that, this straw man of a person that we're constantly talking about. I wonder if it's the same guy. We're always talking about this guy named Kevin. No,
he sucks.
Like this straw man that we usually have. But I mean, it's just a conglomeration of all of these
his name's David.
Online freaks that we talk to, at least I talk to on a daily basis. You're in YouTube comment sections too, but you know, although actually you talk to these people in person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, true, exactly. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's a reason all their views are like that. So it's not a total straw
this guy
man.
The other day, he was like a YouTube comment come to life. Like, answer the door. I'm like, hi, here to talk about, you know, fight to end gun violence. And he's like, go away, like waving me away, and was like, I don't want to hear you want to take away our, you know, oh, you're going to come here and take away like assault weapons. And I was like, oh, you know, it's not a gun control measure, actually. You know, I'm just out here talking about, you know, the fact that the number one cause of death for youth in America.
Letting people know.
Said that, and he's like, oh yeah, and that's bullshit too. Go away, and like slammed the door in my face.
You're like,
yeah, what's
all right,
bullshit?
Logic Lord.
Yeah, like just like immediately like caps, like writing like some extreme reactionary. I can't imagine what he would say online if that's what he does to someone in person.
Yeah, in person he was about to say LOL. Okay, like, did you just say LOL?
Oh my god, he was like, he's like, oh yeah, oh I'm sure that's bullshit. Whatever. It was like, dude, whatever.
Okay, I mean it is what it is.
Like literally,
the argument against that I've been seeing from right-tards lately is that that's only true if you include people that are 19. It's not 18 and under, which is true. And it's like, so? It's for young people.
You know what you can say then?
19
for
people?
Teenagers and children.
Exactly. That's how you hear it presented usually by any reputable source, because that's what it is. That's what the truth is. But it's like, so what? I was like, oh, so guns are fine then because
it's only
19-year-olds get killed by them too.
In my opinion, I mean, like 18 is such an arbitrary number. A 19-year-old seems like a baby to me.
Okay, groomer.
Oh my god, I'm thinking kid, you're like.
18-year-olds are such an arbitrary
I was gonna
number.
say people are kids till they're like 25.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
10.
It's
yeah.
like, and honestly, anyone who's like grown as a person
I usually
and
say youth in America,
educated
'cause
themselves
19 is youth.
would agree with that sentiment. That's how I feel too, where it's like, weren't you a lot dumber when you were 20? And people who don't think so, it's like, oh, that
Oh,
means
you're
you're
just
dumb
dumb.
now.
Yeah.
Because you've lived so much longer, like you have to know that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and plus there's probably biology behind that and how your brain develops. A lot of people say it's like, well, it's not even really till you're like 25.
It
It's
is,
like, okay, raise the age of consent then. I don't know.
I mean, I feel
don't know
like
what
it's
to tell
just a
ya.
better understanding of like
Let
how
people vote, don't let them fuck, and let's see where our country goes.
yeah. We'll vote to be able to fuck.
Yeah. It's well, just keep those age of consent
Yeah.
laws within like the 2-year things, like if teenagers are fucking, you know, and be like, and then you wouldn't have 60-year-old guys dating 21-year-olds where it's like, well, I mean, it's just 21. They can do whatever they want. It's like, no, I'm going to be a Puritan about this. It's not right. Sorry, we were raising the age of consent to
You know
25.
what? Because you know what? They don't know better, and we live in a patriarchal society, and there's a lot of
Yes.
inherent power that older men have over women. You know,
yeah.
young women and things like that. Yeah, definitely. So I'm not saying legislation is necessarily the answer. I think
I'm
that
drafting a bill
you know
right
what?
now.
Legislation
Did
about
everyone
funding
hear that I
schools
won
and good sex
that seat?
education.
No. Yeah.
Is
See?
what it's about.
Yeah, we need
That's-
more
that's
education.
always been my
towards
platform.
social issues.
The thing about United
That's
States.
what Einstein said.
Great minds think alike then, because I
Trump's
seriously
like Jesus, you're like Einstein.
exactly. Some people are even saying I'm better than Einstein. No, legit though. I think the way
I've been the greatest president since Einstein.
the late great Jesus.
It's Easter. Happy birthday, Jesus.
Yeah, legit. The way America funds their schools, it's always been like always been like this is so fucking stupid that people have to.
You've always said that.
When I was a little baby, I was like, "Mama."
School's fucking stupid. Like, that's a weird baby voice. You're like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah, but they should do funding at like socialized school, like public education at the federal level with the funds coming down, or at a way
Or
more
even if it was state by
statewide.
state.
But even then, no.
It's like,
because
so
some of
what
these
if
states-
Wyoming falls behind? Someone's got to be in the 50th. No.
I mean, I feel like for education, that's something that we could just have across the board, as everyone is really well funded and resources. It shouldn't matter where you live because you live in
Yep.
America.
Yes.
It doesn't matter
That's
which
where
state
it
you're
matters
born
where you live.
in. Yeah, I mean,
It's in
if we're-
America.
Yeah, better here than Canada. Am I right?
Those fucking
Oh,
idiots.
maybe I'm not. What I'm
Their
thinking about.
blackface prime minister.
What I'm thinking about is.
Did you see that he showed up in blackface to the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
No, he didn't. I was like, no way.
I'm like, all right, how high is she?
Yeah.
Like, he thought it would be a funny callback.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I'm being self-deprecating. Because, there was that scandal about me doing blackface.
You know, and how racist it was? You remember? It was in all the papers.
Yeah, it was all over Twitter. Anyway,
Yeah, I was thinking about just how much of a bummer it is that people go out of their way. So the statistic, yeah, like you're saying, it's like 19 and under, where the statistic people are saying is for youth in America, for kids in America. And they're like, nah, I can get you on a technicality.
yeah.
And so why are you looking for a way out of this?
Yes.
Why not just be completely shocked? Like every
Yeah.
time I say that statistic
Ugh.
a lot every day at work, and it gives me goosebumps. Like to legit imagine
sick.
that's why
It's
kids.
gross.
Imagine
No.
toddlers getting into guns. That's like a big problem, Teenagers getting access to guns and killing themselves on purpose or on accident.
Yeah.
That's like a huge problem with
Killing
it.
their friend or
Yeah.
a family member on accident.
Yes, it's really,
Or
really,
on purpose. Yeah, or kids
or on
shooting
purpose.
up a school. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It's really sad that that's the kind of like any statistic that is even close to that is like, how is this a developed nation? Like, what does that
Mm-hmm.
mean? I would see that those kind of statistics where like, even if it's the second cause of death,
Yeah.
why is gun
It's like,
violence
what
at
is
the
that,
top for?
Somalia?
That's
Yeah.
exactly the example I was going to use.
Racist.
I know.
Okay, Justin
No,
Trudeau.
I think it's classist.
No, I
It's
mean
Justine
just somewhere.
Trudeau, yeah.
It's just a
No.
go-to example of like child
Yes,
soldiers. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, and I think that's in Somalia as the ones that you'd usually see, right?
Yes.
Or the Sudan or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
child
pretty-
soldiers.
Pretty bad stuff over there.
Well,
But, yeah,
you know.
and people just wanting.
There's also
I guess,
a lot of religious fundamentalism over in those parts of the country, and we're on our way there.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're developing a sense of undevelopedness.
Yeah.
We're really going towards, like, okay, let's pick and choose from the greatest countries on earth. We're going to be as religious as the Afghani Taliban, and we're going to have
Talibani.
enough children dying at the hands of guns as Sudan and Somalia put together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because America, yeah, number one. It's like, or make sure all the schools crumble
Mm-hmm.
physically, literally, or just raised,
Yeah.
you know, with a Z.
Yeah, I guess the religious fundamental. Yeah, we'll have skyrocketing rates of maternal mortality. We're going to be number one at all of that. which I
Well,
think
we're
we
already
are.
number one for developed nations on that, right?
With the overturning of Roe versus Wade, too, the rates of maternal mortality are expected to really increase, especially for women of color, particular Black women. So that will be cool to see, like, so many more women dying. This is what we want.
Yes.
This is
Making
making America great again. Yeah.
This is what we want. Yeah, well, that's why
This
it was
is
in
like-
awesome. Awesome to the max. That's
just
on
did
there
the
too.
awesome one.
Okay, this is lit. No, I mean that's why. As a side note, because of maternal mortality, that's why it was in the news so much for a cycle there. That's actually what M&Ms stand for. Is maternal mortality. Yeah, that's
yeah.
why
That's cool.
Tucker gets really upset. He's a
Yeah.
man of the people, and especially of those people that have are capable of being pregnant.
Nice.
I'm gonna say have
Nice.
uteri. or something.
Uteri. Some people don't, though.
Exactly. I know. That's why
Yeah.
I stopped myself.
But,
I don't want to get canceled again because I'm so popular.
I was just thinking about, I think the number one cause of death for Black boys, teens, up to the age of like 34 or something, there is gun
I'm
violence
almost out of it.
for Black.
I know. I was joking.
Oh,
I want to make jokes about this stuff.
I think it is.
You know how much I like to joke about
So you
minority
can, well,
deaths?
I'm just saying you can
No,
get
but yeah.
them on those technicalities. It's like, well, what kind of youth are you talking about? Because I think it's for if they're Black boys, like under the age of 18, like legit children, like they want to get all
Once you're
semantics
that far into
about.
that conversation, they're like, "Yeah, it's the culture," and you're like, "Oh,
Oh.
boy."
Oh my god! Then I'd be like,
Yep. And you're like, "Ooh, you are an internet comment come
Yeah,
to life."
wow.
Now you're not a comment, you're a Twitter reply come to life. So, anyway, that's how we're wrapping up our talk about Albert Einstein for some reason.
is the death of Black children in America.
Let's see. A Roomba is like a robot chode. Or as I was thinking, a chobot?
A chobot.
A
Chode.
chode robot. And if only, it's funny, we should do video while we're here together. My camera isn't that great, but it's all right. It records in HD. But, and I was thinking, I was like, if we ever started recording video when we're remote, you know, and just, use OBS or whatever it is. Or you get your finger on the fucking
I don't
trigger
have
there.
anything. I just picked it back up. I just,
No, but if we did that, I was like, no matter how well it got put together, it would be funny. As soon as we're doing something on video, we make sure that like the response is like really delayed. So then it's more like a satellite link on TV. So then it seems more professional. Be like, yeah, because you're out in the field. And it's like, it's so funny how like TV news, I think there's the satellite delay and they have to delay stuff
for bleeping and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have to do that on cable news, but they do it. But yeah, it's just so funny how it's like, man, we do so much, and we just did like an entire like economy over Zoom for a year, and it's like, and now still, if you're gonna have crystal clear picture and Tucker's gonna talk to someone that's
always a delay.
like in Florida instead, the delay is always so awkward.
I swear, it's
so
like
weird.
It's like they like
Dead air.
Woo!
Yeah.
No, but
I was hovering my finger over that for a while. I was like, I hope I hit it at the right time.
instead of accidentally touching it right
Yeah.
before you even get. Oh man.
Or just,
yeah. So
not
yeah, that's
thinking of
one way
stuff.
that we could really make ourselves seem legit. You know, we go on video. One of us will like, well, you put on like a flak jacket and just have a green screen behind us, like it's the Daily Show. But you have to make sure you have a real delay. That's what throws you off on the Daily Show. That's why I realized
there's no delay.
Those correspondents aren't even actually there.
They're just
They're in
standing.
the same studio.
They're in the same room.
Yeah,
They're just standing over to the
It's
side.
like, yeah. I went and I showed up there and I was like, Jordan Klepper's not in Afghanistan right now. He's not
the heck's
standing in
going
front
on?
of the White House in the middle of the day. Let's see. Oh,
Excuse me.
um,
Then
are
if
we going to do 2 episodes in a row?
well, we could do it like that, and then I could be like,
Let's go to Doug.
Yes. Doug's the guy you go to around here. Because I have other things. I'd like a little pacing
Yeah.
to our episodes.
let's do it, and let's get me some hot Cheetos.
Okay. Well, we've got another 15 minutes, so.
You know
This
what I say to
year's-
that?
If the biblical Antichrist was real, do you think it would be Donald Trump or Elon Musk? Or someone else?
I was thinking Antichrist, like auntie, like
Yeah.
you know, like
Antichrist!
yeah, oh, come here.
I
It's like,
brought you knickknacks
it's like
from
wearing
my
a
thing.
"It's wine o'clock somewhere"
Yeah,
shirt.
exactly. But somehow has like stigmata and is levitating.
I was gonna say it's. Well, there's a joke somewhere about it being water and wine, you know, but I'm
It's
not.
water o'clock somewhere, and they're like, and they say, "What does that shirt mean?" And they turn back around, they're like, "What do you mean? What does it mean?" And it
it's
says
wine.
it's wine o'clock
Yeah.
somewhere. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I guess I read it wrong." They're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, it's pretty good." And they're like, "I don't."
I think
I don't
it's,
get it.
Anarchists should not be allowed.
Dang it! I was gonna say it's
Not good.
I think it's more like anarchists should not be allowed to have children, and that's why anarchists should not have children.
exactly
So, and speaking of
anarchist.
our celebrity crush, I thought of this because Hassan was talking about it, so I did write Hassan is spot on,
And he was like,
Oh,
and I was like, spot on me.
and he was like,
oh.
I said Hassan's spot on. He was talking about the Trump indictments and all of that, and I mean, to me, it's kind of interesting how this legally works with campaign finance stuff and all that, and like, I mean, it obviously all seems wrong. Like, you shouldn't be able to just pay hush money to keep something out of an election. It's like, and I mean, people compare it to John Edwards and stuff like that, and how he kind of got by with that because he paid hush money to keep his wife from finding out. But Trump obviously did it to keep the electorate from finding out. So
Yeah.
it becomes like a fraudulent thing. And, you know, things can be technically illegal and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you know, the Stormy Daniels thing is whatever. But the Georgia election thing, like, why is this not what has him in prison right now? Like, it's so blatant. Like,
This is politics.
it's like everyone forgot that we all listened to him on a phone call just committing fraud, calling the Secretary of State and being like, I need you to find me this exact number of votes. Because he's like, please rig this election
yeah,
for
he
me.
was like, come on.
Yeah, and he was he was begging like a little baby back
Yeah, he
bitch
was.
with that big dumper Trump. Oh yeah, we didn't, and I made
I know.
sure that you knew that he is now in court records as being 6'1" and 270 pounds, and I thought I had a dumper. No, I thought I
Yeah.
needed to lose some weight. No, I mean I knew.
I'm
that.
just
Uh-oh. Whoops.
I'm
It's fine. It's recording.
yeah, I'm just surprised honestly that when he called what's his name? The governor of Florida, or not the secretary of
His name
let's
was
say,
Gordon Slassy.
was it Brian Kemp?
No, he's the governor, yeah.
Oh, who was
but it
he?
wasn't
He was
it
talking
the
to
Secretary of State he was talking
Yeah,
to?
honestly, in that phone call, I'm surprised he didn't say.
The N-word. He did, but it was honestly in the least interesting part of the phone call.
Yeah, so they just
because
were like,
he's
whatever.
just committing election fraud.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, he was dropping N-bombs. He said his social security number
Yeah,
for some reason.
Yeah, I think so too. It's like, so what does the president have to do in order for it to be something that would be punishable? What kind of
Yeah.
standard are we setting for our country where this is the kind of, exactly. The porn star and hush money and stuff, all of that just seems like, is that the kind of guy you want as a president? Like someone who...
Well, and also
affairs
the
are-
legality too.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like, but,
obviously, but I'm saying like legitimately, like that's a little bit more abstract about like you're saying,
Yeah.
but like making a phone call to say rig this election, it's recorded. Him
Yeah.
saying that, and any of that kind of phone call is incredibly inappropriate to begin with. That is so like.
Even if he had just checked in and been like, hey, do you think I've got any chances? It's like, shut up and go back to your room, dude. Don't talk
Hashtag imagine if Obama said that.
Yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
fucking Christ. Like,
hey, remember, we're not going to keep doing those hypotheticals. Obama didn't do that, as far as I know. I don't want to imagine it. Trump did it. Let's imagine how we'll torture him for it, because that's okay.
it just seems like
No.
legit. Like, what would he have had to do for that to be? It would only be as if the guy did it. That's what it's like. That's what their defense is, and all like a lot of the stuff that's like, well, it didn't work, so
Yeah,
it's an
okay.
attempted and all this kind of stuff. It's like, so because he's incompetent, so someone tries to rob a bank, it's
literally-
like, okay, they
that's
didn't do
literally
it. So
Sideshow Bob when he calls into the right-wing news host and he's like, and I'm currently incarcerated for a crime I did not commit, attempted murder. What does that even mean? He's like, you don't get a Nobel Prize for attempted chemistry.
legit though, that's like the argument that has
Yeah.
been used. Yeah, for sure. Like because you're incompetent and didn't pull it off.
It's
means
funny
it
how
was
that
just
is the thing, and that whole episode's about like the Republicans, and Bob runs for mayor on the Republican ticket.
and Sideshow Bob is Kelsey
I
Grammer,
think.
who is a Republican.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Although a little bit more of a self-aware one, that's for sure. That was on, what was that? He was on,
Cody.
it was on Cody's show.
Yeah, on Some More News.
Some More News.
He just seems like-
.org, everyone.
He just
No.
seems like
Just kidding.
an elite white guy. He's probably
Yeah, exactly.
an asshole. Like
he's just an asshole
millionaire.
Republican millionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
It made me
Fine.
laugh. He's like,
Just
Cody's
some
like, wow,
neocon.
what a funny and
He doesn't
charming
seem like
man.
a Trump lover.
He should be an actor or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonder how he got into his role. Yeah.
But but yeah, that's the thing. And it's funny, even talking about these type of political conversations, but for people in our circles or our online circles
Echo
or whatever it
chambers?
might be, well, I mean, just this part of the left, anything further left of center in American politics, yeah, the echo chamber yells at you for conversations like this or like anything about Trump and stuff, like where it's just like, there's this immediate reaction that this is all liberal stuff that we're dealing with. Because, I mean, anything anti-Trump seems to be pro-Democrat. There's just this way that people see it, right? And my whole thing is just like, because it's not like I'm like, yeah, oh, that's why Chuck Schumer needs to do something. Fuck Chuck Schumer, whatever. I don't care. But yeah, you look like Chuck Schumer right now.
Thank you. That's exactly.
So, yeah, she just dunked her face in a vat of acid and then crossed her eyes.
Pretended my glasses were down at the edge of my nose.
Yeah.
I wish Chuck Schumer would just say.
But it's like, I was just going to say, the reason that to most any leftists, not all, but what I would say, like any leftist, that this is some important politics is because it's about democracy. It literally is. This isn't some hyperbolic or like abstract cringe stuff. It's like the leader of a country calling during the election and trying to get it rigged in his favor. It's really bad. Like, it's important to me. It drives me crazy. It's like my pet's heads are falling off.
Yeah, but you have to remember,
Democracy simply doesn't work.
Yeah, because of how we view this stuff.
I know. That's what I think too. Like, well, him with Ukraine.
Our democracy isn't the best, but still.
With Ukraine, I need you to do me a favor, though.
Yes.
All of that is like what is inappropriate behavior? What are our standards for our leaders? What are they there for?
Yeah.
Like, what are they supposed to be?
We already have enough legal corruption. At least go after the brazen illegal stuff.
Like, just outright the stuff we're at least finding out about. Don't you guys care what we think at all? Oh,
ugh.
No.
Republicans don't. Or they get that side to think stupid.
They
to put it intellectually, they make them head dumb.
Legit, yeah. Brainwash them with the, when
Fox
you have president
News.
on the Fox News, all I was saying was,
this is propaganda.
Oops.
Sorry, I just blew out my microphone too.
You sound like Adam. Seriously.
Yeah, I know. That's
really
how I really
good.
laugh, and I've trained myself not to do it because I don't want to be like Adam Friedland.
Well, this is how I'm training myself to laugh. Oh, that's not what I thought.
You have to go to the other soundboard
Stav,
for the other one. Yeah, it says Stav on it.
Oh.
No. You're like, this is how I'm training myself to laugh. I love Karl Marx. Yeah.
Oh, this is how I'm training myself to laugh.
LOL.
And then
LMFAO.
Speaking of, since this is the Trump special, I guess, because we mention him. We
Give
don't
me the
talk
Trump
about him all
special.
that much. Yeah, it's a
one
steaming
tiny mushroom.
It's a steaming hamburger covered with covfefe. They're like, okay, you were denying
God.
liberalism accusations earlier, but this sucks. No. Yeah, more like the gunfire one. Any leftist worth his salt will murder these leftists. His or her salt.
Thank you.
But
Bear.
right under this, yeah, Trump has had some really funny examples, though. Just his ways of like getting around these corrupt things, or his excuses for them, or just the stupid things. He just did a lot of stupid things, but I had forgot. That's why I wrote it down. I was like, remember in the beginning when we were talking about the emoluments clause? Like, it's like, and he just violated it in plain sight. But his whole thing when he first got elected and was talking about how he was separating himself from the Trump organization, and he held that press conference with stacks of folders that were full of blank paper. Yeah. And everyone could see, they're like, it's just literally just, he's like, yep, see, look at all this work I'm doing, and it's like,
props.
There's blank paper.
Not even good props.
It's like, we just elected a TV guy, not even a movie guy like Reagan. It's a TV guy. You did what?
Yeah. Oh, man. I remember Keith Olbermann had a show like at the beginning of the Trump presidency.
The Resistance.
And he listed off one of them. It was like he just listed the things that Trump, like some of the things he had said and done.
That you already forget about.
And it was like... Yeah. Like 100 things in a row. I was like, oh my God.
And that was probably in like 2018.
It was at the beginning of his presidency.
Oh, yeah.
And like
2017.
Yeah, and in the election too, where it's like he literally, Russia, if you're listening, like invest.
Oh yeah,
Like all
Stupid
that
stuff like that.
That's kind of stuff, though. It's like, is that funny? Like, or a smart thing for a politician to say? It's a great thing to like whip up a crowd and to be a performer.
Yeah.
But as a politician, where your words really matter and
Well,
like the weight that they carry
As
and
a
stuff.
politician,
Yeah,
sure, whipping up a crowd is
I guess
great.
as a public
As
servant,
an executive, that's tasked with carrying out the actions of the executive office.
you know what I really hate is that politics is such like a dirty word. Politicians, it's seen like that because that is how they are, because that's what they're supposed to be, like representing like politics and be like smart people who are not just well spoken. They're like smart and eloquent and like
I'm sitting here laughing because I thought you were setting yourself up hardcore for a soundboard thing.
Nope, I was
and
just
then
talking.
so I'm like waiting, and then I'm realizing as I'm listening, I'm like, oh no, she's being serious, and I'm like. You're like, you know what it really is, and then like four sentences later, I'm like, oh crap,
Yeah.
she's saying something important.
yeah, I was saying.
I love Karl Marx.
No, exactly. It's like we have. Not only do we just end up getting stupid and corrupt people in there anyway, or liars, people who just straight
George
up
Santos.
lie. Yeah, it's like he just happens to be such a crazy example of it. But oh my god, what state was she from? There's that fucking that lady who just switched to the Republican Party, like just after. I mean, she just got elected this past year
What,
or
is she a
something like
representative?
that. Yeah, I forget. Oh man, but it's kind of crazy
And
how
she
like
switched to
I'm
parties
like, what?
after she got
I mean,
elected?
people switch parties, but yeah,
Usually
like
you
being
run in a
elected
different
on
party.
like
Yeah.
being elected on like a pretty seemingly progressive enough thing. Like it's like you just by switching parties. I mean, it's partisan politics, whatever, but. It just means you lied to the people that voted for you, people that volunteered for you, people who did all this stuff. It's like, so you're just saying, nah, I'm not going to do that, actually.
And you know what it means?
Actually, this isn't how I feel about
Exactly.
things.
That's like, what were your values again?
Yeah.
Like, what did you, so, yeah, it just becomes so
see.
much about, like, the power of it, I guess, or whatever. It just seems, yeah.
Which is parties. Okay.
Like the wrong people.
Oops.
The people who crave
News.
power are the least suited to hold
Representative
it.
Trisha
Is she from Colorado?
Cotham irked Democrats, but she's not the first to switch.
Where's she from?
Yeah, I don't care. Oh yeah, yes. Her switching gave the state house a Republican supermajority.
What state?
Louisiana. Oh. Wait, no. This is. What the heck?
Washington
This is another
State?
one?
No.
This is some guy named Francis. Looks like a weathered ventriloquist dummy. The Republican Party gained the supermajority for the Louisiana House after a
Louisiana.
long-time Democratic lawmaker switched parties after nearly 50 years. Gave them the supermajority. It's like, gosh, maybe we should look into
What's
what
making them switch?
GOP state senator in Colorado
Money, I
switches
bet.
parties, citing election conspiracy theories. Who? Yeah, so Trisha. Okay, I'm just gonna look up because this is from a couple days ago. Tricia. Yeah, it's North Carolina.
North
So,
Carolina.
Oh my God! And just looking up her name, it's like from the Charlotte Observer. I get why, from the opinion section, I get why Trisha Cotham left the New York or the NC Democratic Party. I did too. Opinion. Let's see from our readers. She fled the Democratic Party for a reason. It's the same reason I did years ago. The party is unrecognizable to me and her. Yeah, what happened to the party of Strom Thurmond? No.
Yeah.
George Wallace.
They let black people into it. And I don't like it. No, sir.
Let's see. She explained that well and addressed the persistent meddling by Governor Roy Cooper. Yeah, actually, in her reasoning, she's like, yeah, we get in and then we're just expected to rubber stamp the Democratic governor's agenda. It's like, just tell us how you feel. What do you disagree with? Like, you can disagree with this stuff. It'd be like noble for you to stand up for certain things while in the Democratic Party. Look at what some of these national level lawmakers get away with by holding the fucking Democrats hostage, like Manchin and Sinema, and even Sinema left. It's like, what an
she's
idiot.
an independent.
Yeah, but meddling echoes recent comments made by blah blah blah. I admire her. Okay, here we go. Trisha Cawthon betrayed us, claiming to support, quote, equality for all, equitable public schools, and protecting voting rights. She joins a party that attacks LGBTQ community members, refuses to adequately fund disadvantaged schools, and makes it harder for you to vote and easier for them to take away your freedoms. As a gay, public school educated Democratic voter and lifelong Mecklenburg resident, she betrayed me.
I've been to Mecklenburg.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Mecklenburg County, I think.
Like, God, yeah, running. Oh, this writer is a former NC House member and Union County Sheriff. And Senator Thom Tillis. I will not say your name is Tom. It is Thom.
Don't quote me on that, though.
Oh, no, this is something different. Senator Tom's about the president's indictments. This isn't about her.
This is a different article.
Oh, boy. Okay. Anyway, but what were we talking about?
It's a good time for a break, so I want those hot Cheetos.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Doug, I swear to God, if we don't get a break...
You're like, don't quote me on that. So. Okay. Well, good job with the soundboard. We're going to get you up for round 2.
I want to be
now,
like...
by the time people listen to the second episode, it'll probably be a little while afterwards because I have to write music for each one.
Compose.
Don't quote me on that.
Oh, no. It's not even dead hair.
I know.
No.
It was right there.
No, yeah. Yes, I will compose myself before I write music, hopefully. Although I write my best music when I'm a blithering idiot. A slovenly drunk.
You must write a lot of good music.
Sick burn. Anyway, love you, I guess. Love you, R.M. Brown.
Our Lord and Savior.
Praise be unto him.
Aw, woman.
Yeah. And thanks, everybody, for waiting.
I know you're probably disappointed, just haven't known what to do with your life.
Yeah. Because this somewhat weekly podcast missed a week.
Yeah. I'm sorry, and we'll do better.
No, we won't, but I'm sorry.
We'll do better.
Okay.
Okay, love you.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Zach.
Bye, Kelsey.
Bye, Vanilla.
Okay. R.M. Brown.
Hassan.